Hey guys, Brian with Workshop Addict, and instead of talking power, today we're going to talk right tool for the right job or most comfortable. And this is something that I've fallen into. I'm going to share it with you. Go ahead and blast me in the comments below because I look forward to chatting with you. Let's get into it. Before I start talking about my latest and greatest favorite for installation projects, I want to give you a little bit of history of where I've been. I've got way too many impact wrenches here, and it all started with this Ingersoll Rand. It's a 3/8 inch model. It's the W5132, I believe. Nice impact wrench. It was powerful and at that time yet small. Love the light on the front of it, very bright. You can do a million different settings on the back. I mean, this is set up for mechanics. Still love it. Just don't pick it up as much as I used to. Then along came the Milwaukee Mid Torque. Loved the power, loved everything about it, loved that it was smaller than some of the other ones that were on the market, and it fit my hand well, so I would pick it up 99% of the time. I mean, I can rotate tires with this, I can do anything. It's still one of my major go-tos. LED light on it, it's not the same as the Ingersoll, but it is what it is in that situation. Then I kind of got into, I want a really small impact, and this is an Ingersoll Rand 12 volt or 3/8 inch drive. They also have their quarter. These two were like my main gigs for working inside of engine compartments because they're small and I can get used to them. I move them around, do anything I want, and they set upright. That to me is a big deal for some reason. See, most people, maybe not. 99% of the time I find myself setting them down on their side anyway, but for some reason I like the fact I can set them up. Really bad light. In dark situations or wherever you're at, but they work. They just don't fit my hands the way I really like. I know I'm getting pretty picky here. Then comes along the Milwaukee stubbies. I like the M12s. I really like these, and I use them when I use them, which is not as often as it was when I first got them. When I first got them, it was like stubby, stubby, stubbies. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now I find myself not even picking them up, mostly because I don't use the 6 amp hour battery on here to stand it up, and I dislike the fact that you kind of can stand them up, but it's, you know, it is what it is. I love the M12 line. I love the power that you get out of these. These were made as impact wrenches. I like that. That's what we've always been kind of pounding on. You know, buy an impact wrench, don't buy an impact driver. There's different settings and impacts per minute and all this other stuff that is in an impact driver and impact wrench. And I'm going to go against a lot of the things I've said in the past because this new 12 volt Extreme line that came out from DEWALT, it's a subcompact. It's so tiny. And here's what kills me because I absolutely love this DEWALT. I think it's what the DCF902, right? It's not super powerful. They claim 125 foot-pounds of torque. I say probably not. If I'm picking this up, I'm using it for 75 and under. It probably does the amount of impacting that we're talking about at 125 foot-pounds removing something, but you're gonna sit there and just hammer on this thing for a long time. That's not my gig. I want something that's gonna rip that lug nut, bolt, nut, anything off quick and not just sit and hammer. If I'm sitting and hammering, I got enough tools, I'll upgrade. I'm not gonna use that constantly, but for installations, this is great. Where I'm gonna switch lanes here is the impacts per minute on this is 3,600. And if you look at the instructions, they connect it with the DCF801. These are the same. They just switch the anvil. Light's the same, everything is the same. They call it a precision screw driving system on the impact, where it's a precision wrench mode on the impact wrench. Either way, I've been using these for everything. So side-by-side installations, toolboxes going together, little projects on the jet skis, even small things under the hood of trucks and cars. places where you don't want to even try to get a camera in, I can get this little guy in. The work light that's in front is perfect. It's 3 LEDs in a circle. Reminds me a lot of the old Ingersoll Rand. Not quite as bright, but it does the job. I can use it as a flashlight, stays on for 20 seconds. The 3600 IPM, you know that it's a lot more than normal when you're using it, but it's easy to get used to figure out what's going on. In fact, I was installing some tree kickers on the Polaris in 20 foot-pounds was what they had to be set at. I could easily manipulate my way through this between low and high, and I set them at about 11 before I torque them down with this tool, which perfect, right? I could work on installing a mirror, which was 2 tiny little bolts, put them in and then come back, and I was actually surprised that I actually had to tighten them up quite a bit with an actual ratchet, which is interesting. So I don't use the precision wrench mode, which is basically it takes you down till you start impacting, sets, it stops for maybe a half second there and then continues impacting. It's supposed to give you more control of what you want. I like to control my own tool. I set it up on low, work with it. I give it a couple blips with my finger, go to high, do the same thing, and can kind of figure out the tool after a while. So I'm not into these set it and forget it modes. But low is 0 to 1,000 RPMs, high is 0 to 2,800 RPMs. That really doesn't matter to me, it's a combination of RPMs and impacts. It's an interesting tool, and I'll tell you, it's so small. The grip is nice and comfortable. It's pure DEWALT to me. And I'm not sitting here bragging on this tool because it's DEWALT, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, hey, that's a new battery platform. I don't wanna get into it. Why should I? And I agree, they do have 7 or 8 tools on this battery platform that are XTREME, that are fairly nice. It's just this guy, I'm just down with it right now. It works for everything I'm doing, installing little parts. And maybe it's because that's what I'm doing a lot of right now. I wouldn't use this for lug nuts. Never in a day would I say, go buy this tool to rotate your tires. I don't care if you were rotating tires on a trailer that had 90 foot-pounds, not the tool. If you're gonna install a lot of different things, work on intakes, work on heads, work on radiators, anything in vehicles, this works awesome because it's small. I like the fact that it stands upright. Watch me in the videos, most of the time it's sitting on the ground. It's the way it is though, right? It's something that's in my head. I am totally prepared for you all to come at me down below in the comments and say, dude, what's wrong? It's where I'm at right now. I like the button on the top. I like the way that this thing shows me what's happening. I like the fact that it is simple, small, easy, compact, not too powerful, not too powerful. It burns me that I'm using an impact driver as an impact wrench. So that brings me to the second thing. Would it be smart just to buy the impact driver, put a adapter in here from 1/4-inch hex and go over? I haven't tried it yet because that drives me insane, but if there's one thing that I could complain about on this tool, it's the hog ring. Every single one of these tools here is the hog ring, but this one seems to get caught up on stuff a little more and doesn't make the socket exchange as easy as I'd like. So if you do a lot of woodworking or cabinetry, because this would be perfect for installing cabinets or just small stuff that you don't want to just strip these little screws out, this could be it if you're going back and forth. So that's why I wanted to bring this into the video. The batteries are small. You can charge them on a 20-volt charger. You can charge it on their standard 12-volt charger. So I don't have to have another charger here, which is a big deal to me because I got all kinds of different batteries. I just like it. I've rambled on. Again, I'm ready. Throw those nasty comments in the bottom. I'll come back, tell you what I like, what I dislike. I get it. I'm gonna get a ton of you guys who are saying the Milwaukee stubby's where it's at. And you're right. If you're You're right. The Milwaukee Stubby kicks ass. If you're just that one step up from installing things, I wouldn't use this to put in air intakes or remove little pieces. It works. It's too big. It's too heavy. It's a step up from this little stuff of installation. Could it be used? Yes, but it's almost double the weight. Milwaukee rocks it. Ingersoll Rand rocks it on impacts. DEWALT seems to me to rock it more on saws and some different things like that, especially their circular saws. DEWALT impacts usually aren't where I'm just sitting there going, yeah, this dude, I am. Again, thanks for sticking with me. That was a long rant about me falling in love with the small DEWALT impact. As always, guys, give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave those comments below. Let's talk about this stuff and get through it. Hope you're being safe. Have a great day.